welcome to Cooking with Karin. I'm Paulina.
And I'm Karin.
And Karin, what are we making today?
Today we are making a Kinpura, which is a Japanese dish, and it means steam and saute. It means both things. So essentially what we're going to do, we're going to take a burdock root, carrot, and daikon and matchstick them and do a quick saute and then a long steam. And we're going to cook it with seaweed and a little ginger and a little toasted sesame oil and cook it all together. It's a delicious vegetable dish. Very, very simple, very quick, and yet completely satisfying.
It sounds amazing.
Here we go. First thing we're going to do is soak some seaweed. This is called arame seaweed. And it's dried. And it takes about 10 minutes to hydrate. So I'm going to put it in a bowl and let it soak for about 10 minutes, and it's going to plump right up, you'll see. Now we're going to matchsticks vegetables. Matchsticks are a way of preparing vegetables to cutting it. And this is a daikon root. This is in the radish family, and it's incredibly good for your liver. It's very cleansing, delicious. When cooked, it gets very sweet. So I'm going to show you how to matchstick daikon. I'm going to cut off the end. I'm going to first cut it at an angle. Okay. And then what you can do is get them all lined up like this. And cut them like this. And this is like a matchstick. Like so. I'm going to use a burdock root. And burdock roots are a pretty unusual vegetable. You don't see it very much. It's a root, and it is an incredibly medicinal plant for our blood quality. It strengthens our blood. It's called gobo in Japanese food, and it's a wonderful food to have in the wintertime. Again, I got it, so I'm going to matchstick it. So again, I'm going to cut it at an angle like this. When you cook it, it's very sweet and earthy tasting. Now we're going to use the parsnip, which looks like a carrot, but it is kind of like ivory colored. And I'm going to again cut off the end like that and slice it at an angle, just like I did everything else. This is a basic method on how to matchstick. Okay, and then we're going to matchstick the carrots. Same exact method. First you're going to cut it at an angle, and I'm using the claw to control the thickness. Okay, like so. Okay, so we have matchsticks, daikon, burdock, parsnip, and carrot. Okay. And go ahead and while we're at it, look at the seaweed, how much it's swollen. Just in about 5 or 10 minutes. It went from being dry to being hydrated. Now, the other thing we're going to use in this is ginger. So I learned this trick about how do you peel ginger skin. You use the edge of a spoon. And it just gets the skin right off 10 times easier than using a paring knife or a knife. The spoon, any old ordinary spoon, gets the ginger off. Same thing, slice it on an angle, just like I've been doing all the other matchsticks. We're going to saute it first, then we're going to steam it. So I'm going to put it on a nice high heat. And I'm going to actually use a little bit of olive oil, organic olive oil, just like that. I'm going to let the heat come up to temperature. So I'm going to first start with the burdock root. saute and the carrot. Some parsnips. So again, I'm going from the hardest vegetables to the softest. The ginger. Now we're going to put in the daikon. So I have this seaweed that's been soaking. Put a little bit of seaweed water. You want just a little water to get the vegetables to steam naturally. So I'm going to mix it in. And seaweed is incredibly good for vitamins and minerals. And I'm going to let it steam for about 10 minutes. Put the lid on. Okay, just like that. Looks good. It looks like all the vegetables have cooked through. I'm going to just pick one up. Yeah, that looks good. It's hot. You can also, yeah, if it goes right through easily, that's done. A little bit of soy sauce. And then toasted sesame oil. Put the toasted sesame oil in at the end, not at the beginning, just to keep it fresh so it can go rancid if you cook it on high heat. So you put it at the end for flavoring.